I've just handed to Mr. Rottenborn and Your Honor an opposition that we prepared before we had the benefit of seeing Ms. Heard's affirmative motion to strike that I think we've anticipated the arguments made.
Amber Heard and Johnny Depp's relationship has been a roller coaster, from being a happy couple and getting married to ending up in court against each other. And their trial just keeps getting more and more interesting with new evidence coming every day. And it seems that this finally got to Amber, and some recent developments in the case have left Amber enraged. So what really happened? The trial of the century. Two actors finding each other and falling in love seems like a match made in heaven, right? But things are never how they appear. Amber and Johnny sure had their honeymoon phase, but it didn't take long for their marriage to fall apart. After all, their marriage only lasted 1 year and a half before they got divorced. Their divorce wasn't a simple and drama-free one. Amber filed for divorce, claiming that Johnny had been physically aggressive towards her, where most recently he allegedly threw a phone at her, which left a bruise on her face. But then the Los Angeles police said that no such thing had taken place that night. Johnny's team said Amber was attempting to secure a premature financial resolution by alleging abuse. No one knew who to believe, but still, almost no one was on Team Johnny initially. Clearly, things have changed since then. After a restraining order and a lot of drama, the divorce finally happened in 2017. They agreed on Amber getting a divorce settlement of $7 million, which she would be donating to 2 charities of her choice. The couple also came out with a joint statement saying, "Our relationship was intensely passionate and at times volatile, but always bound by love. Neither party has made false accusations for financial gain." And they both went their own ways, or so Johnny thought. In 2018, over a year after their divorce was finalized, Amber published an op-ed that she wrote for the Washington Post. Amber wrote, "I kept quiet. I did not expect filing complaints to bring justice, and I didn't see myself as a victim. Then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing DV, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out." Even though Johnny's name wasn't mentioned anywhere in the article, it seems clear that it was all about him, especially since she referred to herself as a public figure. Meanwhile, Johnny's representatives think that it contains a clear implication that Mr. Depp is a domestic abuser, which is categorically and demonstrably false. Johnny Depp was the star of some of the biggest hit movies like Edward Scissorhands, Donnie Brasco, and all the Pirates of the Caribbean sequels, so his career was pretty impressive. He was even named People's Sexiest Man Alive twice. Everyone loved him, and we don't blame them. Johnny had both the looks and the talent, but unfortunately things went downhill after the op-ed was published. Johnny struggled to get any kind of work. He had to take pay cuts, and he lost a $22.5 million deal he had with Disney. He lost his role as Captain Jack Sparrow and even Grindelwald. According to Johnny's lawyer, he suffered an estimated loss of around $50 million after the article. Amber, on the other hand, wasn't that well known before she met Johnny. She had a few roles here and there, but nothing big enough to catch the eye of the public. It's no wonder she landed her biggest role in Aquaman after her marriage with Johnny. And we aren't surprised that everyone thinks she was just using Johnny for fame and money. One fan tweeted, "Amber used Johnny because of who he is. She's fame-hungry, desperate for attention, everything's gotta be about her. When things didn't go her way, she tried to set him up." And another fan said, "You telling me that Johnny lost a bunch of projects because of the issue when there wasn't even a trial yet? And Amber gets to have screen time in Aquaman even after the whole world sees her clownery in the trials?" Well, Johnny had enough of that. He lost everything, so what more did he have to lose? That's why he filed a defamation lawsuit against Amber seeking $50 million. Of course, Amber followed with a countersuit right after. She asked to be granted immunity for Johnny's complaint and $100 million for compensatory damages. The trial finally started, and Johnny Depp took the witness stand himself, saying that Amber's claims were disturbing and not based in any species of truth. Finding a way out. All of this evidence against Amber definitely got her a little scared. It seems that she doesn't trust her team and her own case that much because right in the middle of the trial, her legal team motioned for dismissal of the lawsuit. That's a little suspicious, especially since that happened right after Johnny's team wrapped up with their witness list and rested their case. It was Amber's turn to take the stand next, so of course she wanted to do anything to prevent that. Amber's attorney, Ben Rottenborn, was the one who made the case about why the lawsuit should be dismissed, saying that Johnny's side doesn't have enough to prove defamation. If you really thought so, why would you even ask for a dismissal, though?
I think we're all clear that the sole issue here is whether Amber Heard can be held liable to Mr. Depp for defamation arising from the 2018 op-ed and the 2018 op-ed alone.
He then continued by saying that to establish this, Johnny has to prove that the statements in the op-ed were both false and defamatory. Ben was making his case on all the evidence that was presented by their team. He even used Johnny's personal experience with abuse as a child against him. Since Johnny testified that abuse comes in different forms, like emotional and verbal, then according to Amber's lawyer, that means in the end, despite all evidence, Johnny is the one to blame.
If Mr. Depp abused Miss Heard physically, verbally, emotionally, or psychologically even one time, then she wins on those claims. Then she wins. It's that simple.
But what about the headline of Amber's op-ed? We mentioned that the title was "I Spoke Up Against and Faced Our Culture's Wrath." That has to change. The title itself claims that there was SV involved there as well. Johnny's lawyer Benjamin Chu said,
This statement could reasonably imply that the violence Ms. Heard spoke up against was in fact perpetrated by Mr. Depp. Mr. Depp produced several credible witnesses and documents proving that Ms. Heard was implying that he committed sexual violence against her.
But Amber's team's response to this was that Amber didn't write the title herself, and that Johnny had no evidence that Amber did the op-ed with a bad intention. However, it seemed that she was taking all the credit for it on Twitter back in 2018 when the article came out. Amber herself tweeted a link to the article saying, "Today I published this op-ed in the Washington Post about the women who are channeling their rage about violence and inequality into political strength despite the price of coming forward." To which someone replied, "Pretty proud of this piece at the time, but don't want to say you wrote it now?" But Amber's attorney continued to stand his ground and finished with,
She's not the abuser, and if the case moves forward, she and her witnesses will put on even more evidence of the physical abuse she suffered at the hands of Mr. Depp.
Johnny's lawyer was pretty frustrated with Amber at this point and decided to be straightforward with his case.
Mr. Depp has come forward in his case in chief with multiple credible witnesses, documents, and authentic tape recordings of Ms. Heard herself, not only satisfying all of the requisite elements of his claim for defamation, including actual malice, but also going the extra mile of showing that Ms. Heard physically abused him. She's the abuser in this courtroom.
The motion to dismiss the case before Amber takes the stand tells you everything you need to know. But in the end, despite how much Amber wanted the case to be thrown out, the judge decided against it. Another win for Johnny's team. After looking at all the evidence, she denied the dismissal, saying that the weight of that evidence is up to the fact finders. It's all on the jury's hands now to decide if they are Team Amber or Johnny. Apparently, this wasn't the first time Amber had tried to drop this defamation lawsuit. In 2021, Amber and her team filed the motion not once but thrice to dismiss the lawsuit. But it didn't work out back then either because Judge Penny Azcarate served them with a disapproval notice. It seems that Amber knew she was going to lose ever since the beginning, and this was her last try at dismissing the case. Now she has no other option but to take the stand and show the world who she really is. As we wait for more news on the trial, don't forget to watch this other video.